Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jaded Blossom, and it is day 3 of our January 2021 release, and I have 2 cards to share with you today. Hey, so I went ahead and pre-colored this floral heart image. It's beautiful. Cut it out with a stitch square die right there using the Love You Lot stamp set along with Doodlebug's Love Notes 6-inch pad. So that is a piece of paper tray ink craft cardstock. 8.5 by 4.25, scored at 4.25 to give you a perfectly square card. Now I went ahead and cut the 4-inch square die out of the pattern paper. I'll be adding that to my card base with my ATG tape. And then, whoops, there we go. Just making sure it's all lined up. I love this paper, it's so pretty. There we go, get it all straight. Use my Teflon bone folder. Now I'm adding on the red layer, which is from that same Love Notes pad, actually the back side of it. And I'm just putting that down. That is 4 1/8 inches. And now I'm going to be taking a piece of cut cardstock's CTI Glamma translucent paper, which is just like vellum, and I'm using my Misty and an anti-static bag, and I'm taking my sentiment Happy Valentine's Day from the Love You Lot stamp set, which has a beautiful font, and this is last year's set, and I'm going to be stamping it with Ink on 3's Juicy Ink using my Misty, because you know, if you're stamping a sentiment and you want to get it straight and perfect, you want to use a Misty. Make sure you get a good stamped image. There we go. There we are. Looks good. It's hard to tell from this, but it looks good. And now I'm taking out my Ranger Detail White embossing powder, and I'm just sprinkling it over my sentiment. I'll just flick off the extra, and then I will melt it with my Marvy heat tool, which is super easy on vellum. I love heat embossing on vellum because it just goes really fast. I just think it looks so pretty. There we go. That's my favorite part about card making. Okay, now I'm going to stretch this across that stitched square die with the floral heart image on it. I use my Copic markers to color that. All of them will be listed on my blog. I also used a Secure white Jelly Roll pen in number 10 to add some white details. So now I'm sticking that down, and I'll add the banner. Now you'll notice there's some really dark spots, dark teal spots. I had a marker that had a leak, and I just decided to go with it. And I added dots of the green and the teal just to kind of blend it in. You can see it went through my card base there. You know, I had already colored all the flowers, and I wasn't going to get rid of the images. They just looked too good. So I thought, I can make it work. And I think I pulled it off. You'll have to let me know if you think so. There we go. So there is my sentiment. And now I'm just going to add some more ATG tape over that vellum, and then I will stick that to my card base. So that's a 4-inch square die and then a 4 1/8 inch layer. There we go. And then I'm going to add a strip of paper from that same Love Notes 6-inch pad from Doodlebug. Just a little leftover strip using, I don't even know what the name of that. It's an AdTech dot glue runner. And I just smoothed it down with my Teflon bone folder, and I will cut off the overhang. And there we go. So I think it turned out pretty nice. So now I'm using my Art Glitter Glue, and I'm going to pull out my Little Things pearls. They're the soft snowball mix, and I'm just going to add some of those using my Studio Katia embellishment wand. And, you know, just adding a few little pretty embellishments to make this card complete. So kind of fun. I love this new image from Jaded Blossom. It's a beautiful image. It also comes, you can order an outline die for it, which is fabulous. And I didn't use one today, but you could. And I just think it looks so pretty. There we are, just adding on some more of those pearls. And then we will be set with this one, I believe, in just a second. Yeah, this release has just been gorgeous. I love it. Just love it. And there you go. So now I went ahead and I colored all the other images from that stamp set. And I colored them with Copics. They'll be listed on my blog. And I'm using paper from that same pad, and I'm using that same stitch square die, along with the envelope die. And you saw that I'm using the Circle Internal Scallop die 1. And I'm just going to line those up, and I'm going to cut them out using my Gemini machine. All my die cutting is always done with my Gemini. And there we go. What I'm doing is I'm doing an edge-to-edge shaker card. And then I went ahead and I cut out that Circle Scallop die again, internal scallop, with the Nina Desert Storm cardstock, just so I can have a craft circle. So now I'm adding on this background piece with that AdTech glue runner, and I'm just going to add that cloud paper behind it. There we go. And that is also the sentiment that I cut out using the Mini Tag Dies 3 from that same stamp set. So I know I'm all over the place, but you'll see what I got going on in a second here. So now I'm adding just another piece of paper to the back of that 4-inch die, just so I can make it a little bit more sturdy. Here we go. It makes it easier to stick the acetate down. It's just an old sticker package. So now I'm taking my score tape and I'm running it around the edge. There we go. And then I will add my acetate onto this piece, which is it's so nice to use old packaging. Now I have to hold on to my packaging because this is a great use for it. An edge-to-edge shaker card. It's fabulous. There we go. And like I said, all the images were colored with my Copic markers. And actually, all these, the little mini images, I did cut out using my brother's Scan and Cut with a 0.4 border. That's kind of my jam. There we go. So now I'm just adding this acetate. Of course, I forgot to trim it to just a little bit larger than this piece, but we'll make it work. Just trim off the extra. It's not that big of a deal with my Tim Holtz shears there. So easy stuff. Just sticking down. Now you want to stick down the 3 sides and leave one side open to add your sprinkles or whatever your shaker bits are going to be. There we go. And I'll just trim off the corners as they kind of miter up. And that keeps everything nice and flat. I'm just going to trim off any extra. And now I'm going to be adding in some, these are from Kindred Stamps. They're little envelopes. So I'm going to add those to the shaker. And I will add in, let me just see here. I'm also going to pull out Trinity Stamps Sweet and Tart Heart Sprinkles Mix. And I'm adding those right there are Cartwright's Moonshine Sequins and 3mm. Oh, and there's the heart mix I was talking about. And I'll add a few of those in there. And then you get, basically it's a edge-to-edge shaker card, which is kind of fun. Add a few more envelopes because, you can't. Envelopes are fabulous on Valentine's Day, right? It's lots of fun. So I'm just peeling off the extra side now. And then I will flatten that into the score tape and I will cut off the little corners just to keep things flat. And then I can stick this down on my card front. There we go. And my card base is going to be the same as with the other card. So 4.25 by 8.5 scored at 4.25 for a square card. Now that will fit in an A2 sized envelope, and then you don't have to pay extra for mailing it. You have to pay extra for square cards. So it's kind of nice if you can put them in a rectangle envelope. There we go, getting it all in place. There we go. And isn't that fun? A nice edge-to-edge shaker. And now we'll decorate it the rest of the way. So that's the piece of Nina Desert Storm that I cut out with that same, what's it called? Circle Internal Scallop Dies 1. So I'm just going to run a bead of glossy accents around it just because I'm sticking on a shiny surface. If any oozes out, although I tried to be careful, I'm using my EK Success reverse tweezers just to get that in place, and I'll weight it down with an acrylic block. And now I cut out the envelope out of that same, from that same pattern paper pad using my Gemini machine and the envelope dies from Jaded Blossom. And I'm just going to quickly stick that together using the score tape. I could have used glue, but I thought I had this out. It's just easy. I also take a little tiny heart die from the Fancy Heart Dies that I've been using. I use that all the time. That is just the best set. And I'm just peeling off any of the backing to that score tape, and then I will stick this envelope together. There we go. And now I'm going to add in a heart from that Fancy Heart Dies. That is cut out of pure poppy cardstock from Paper Tray Ink. I always keep my leftovers of those hearts just because you can use them. You might as well. And I'm just going to stick that down with that glossy accents. There we go. Isn't that cute? Super cute. Now I'll put this card together. So this was really quick and easy actually. So I'm going to use my Stampin' Up! Dimensionals to add some dimension onto the back of that mini Tag Dies 3 die that I have my sentiment on. Oh, sorry, I'm popping up the envelope first. Now I'll pop up my hello. That's from that same floral heart stamp set from Jaded Blossom. There we go. And we'll just pop that all up using Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. We'll get that in place, upper left-hand corner. There we go. And I will trim off the overhang. There we go. And then now I'm going to add in my floral bits, which is kind of fun. So the teal little leaves, I'm going to add those flat to the card, to around that circle with glossy accents. And then I will use the Stampin' Up! Dimensionals again, the small and the normal sized ones, to pop up the flowers. Well, actually I'm using my glossy accents like I thought. There we go. We'll just dab off any extra and then I will pop everything in place. And then you basically have a super fast and easy shaker card. And I think you could use it for any season, really. The hello is pretty generic, but I'm planning on using this for Valentine's Day, just because the background paper has little love notes all over it. And I will stamp probably a Happy Valentine's Day on the inside. Maybe even use that nice scripty one that I used on the other card. But I didn't bother in the video to add that. There we go, just adding in all my other little pieces. And then that, like I said, gets you a pretty quick card. So you want to save all those little pieces. Like make sure you save the pieces of your acetate from your packaging, from the things that you buy, because it's a great way to reuse it, recycle, upcycle, I guess you call it, and use it to make an acetate full front shaker card, which is fun. And I find that the little shaker bits move really well in there. There's not a lot of, I guess, static cling. There we go. Perfect. And now I'm just going to add a strip of paper from that same pad on the inside of this little square Valentine's Day card. And there we go. I'll trim off the extra. And then that's about it. So there they are. Thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to hop on over to the Jaded Blossom blog and check out everything, all the design team members' projects. And if you want this stuff, you can still get the Gotta Have It Now until Wednesday, which is today. And then the whole release will be available a la carte starting Friday. So thanks for watching. We'll see you soon in my next video. Bye, everyone.